So they do $1 million in top line, they make 150,000. And it's very typical in the industry for whatever regulations, everything they have to do to do it.
It's all industry specific.
Correct.
But the key is that is it going to drive the bottom line? And is it going to improve the quality of the revenue? So the other reason why all revenue is not created equally is that what it costs you to get that extra $1 or $1 million or $3 million of revenue makes a difference. So cost of acquisition is what that's called. And if you can grow revenue with minimal cost, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's a nice sweet spot.
That's sweet. If you have to spend as much as you're making or too big of a chunk, then it's not worth it because it's not changing. It's not.
And we see that when we do growth spurts. I always talk about, this ramp up growth and then a plateau for a while. The plateau is really, really nice because this is where, we have all systems in place. We've modified current business models to accommodate that ramp up growth. And we've now flatlined on the expenses. So there's all these expenses to get there. If we do it right, we get to that plateau. At least this is what I see, where our expenses aren't. We flatlined on the expenses and our revenue, and now we're starting to see an increase in margins based on that investment.
Right.
But there is always that period of time
where you have to invest
where you're losing. It's an investment
in your industry.
Yeah, in my industry.
Yeah.
Specifically. And because everything we do is expensive. You got to put a $70,000 truck on the road.
Right.
You got to put and today's labor rates, you got to put a $80,000 to $100,000 employee on the road. You got to have $25,000 worth of inventory on it. There's just so many things just to have one truck out there.
Right.
Okay, so what's your return on that truck?
Right. And that's what you have to find out regardless of what your industry is figure out to grow, what's your return and how long is it going to take you to actually be ahead of the game when you're making those decisions? Because in my case, I'm usually talking to people when they're starting to think about it. It might be 5 years out, but they're starting to think about it. So they have to make decisions that make sense so that they're not over invested in their infrastructure ahead of their cash flow by the time they want to go to market.